What I do, Craigie Boo?
Really? Nothing, Chad?
I booed him when he showed up.
Oh.
He's slowly getting more and more civil. No swear words this time. That's called progress.
As eating a French fry, he lucked out.
Craig,
Lucky
he's
ass
already.
Whoa.
Boy, you're asking. Sick of it.
We're regressing. Okay. Be sure to have your music started. Catch a vibe. We'll move us to the appropriate map, to the Dragonfly ship.
Been so long.
I know. So before we get into like the game proper, we got two things. One is a pronunciation correction. I was going off of memory. The name is not what did I say? Kaya Kassir. Kaya Kassir is what I told you guys.
Yeah.
It was not that, as I was just going off memory. Her name is Kaya Kassir. The thing I thought I missaid the first time, but yeah. I'll post it in the Roll20. Kaya Kassir. So that's the figure in Ravnica you guys are hoping is an ally in helping get Liliana. The second thing is I've been looking over a lot of the like modern Spelljammer stuff that they've been doing, and I think I'm going to steal parts of it, and I'm going to not use parts of it. So it won't really affect us too much, but the Phlogiston, the sort of space between the crystal spheres, that's now just going to be the Astral Sea. So it's sort of mixing old and new Spelljammer. So we're going to keep the crystal spheres. So again, each crystal sphere house is essentially like a solar system inside of it. Planets, it's various sizes. They're giant. But instead of floating in the Phlogiston, it'll visually look almost the exact same as well. But it'll be in the Astral Sea. Yeah, you guys will learn the differences. But for the most part, just for traveling on a ship, it's basically the same shit. But yeah, those are the only two real little correction points I wanted to make before we started like game proper.
Are there cosmic whales?
There's all sorts of bits out in the Astral Sea.
Ooh.
All sorts of bits.
Maybe a friend?
It could be friends.
I hope it's friends.
I mean, question?
Yes?
No questions.
Does that possibly mean that there are things leaking into the Astral Sea currently that our group may not know about?
I mean, yeah, sort of some of the stuff you and I talked about in previous games, like all of that still stands. It's really like, I mean, honestly, we'll get into it. The only real differences here is if you fall off your ship, you're not on your ship. You can literally propel yourself with your mind. So your intellect essentially becomes your movement.
Oh, okay.
And what's another one of the...
So that's kind of like the astral plane.
Yeah, the Astral Sea is the astral plane. It's just a different way of calling it, basically.
Okay. Sorry to ask stupid question.
No, that's okay. Good. I didn't know any of that. Good to hear.
I mean, but again, there's like a few differences, and like even compared to the Phlogiston, because in the Phlogiston, it's like, you know, you can't have open flame. If there's ever an open flame, it immediately essentially casts fireball wherever that open flame is, and it just goes boom, fireball.
Oh, okay. Because of like the different gases and stuff in the...
Exactly. The way it's like categorized and how it's sort of like put together. And so after looking at all of it and like jamming it out in my head, I was like, you know what? Changing it to the Astral Sea, to the current context of what Spelljammer, it just sort of makes more sense, honestly.
Mhm.
So figured
Fair.
I'd let you guys know that. But again, as far as general travel, it shouldn't really affect you guys too much. The only big difference is you can have torches and lighters and
Sweet.
smoke weed. I don't know, whatever you guys are doing.
Hell yeah! Now this trip just turned into a party. But
It's actually good.
actually,
What
a quick
Brett just goes
continuity
out.
question.
I just had the thought. Brett just steps outside and fireball is cast on him.
Yeah, like, did we travel? Are we saying that our canon is that we traveled the astral sea this whole time, like or that this time it's the astral sea? You know what I'm saying? Did my question make sense?
I thought it made sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think as far as like our canon, we're just gonna say that like with the retconning that happened forever ago with a certain group and a wish spell, say for whatever reason it turned into the astral sea over the Phlogiston.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So for like from everyone's POV, yeah, you've always traveled through the astral sea. The only people that would maybe know there's a difference would be the 5 people, like technically 6 people responsible for the wish spell.
Those fuckheads.
Yeah, those are all the sort of little catch-up bits.
Excellent.
Little catch-up bits. Feel free to restart. You're in the house of the inventor.
Awesome. Yeah, good call. Okay, now that we got that out of the way.
Should I do like a clap to make a mark on the noise audio, Chad? Would that make life easier after doing a spiel like that?
No.
Okay.
It's fine.
Figured it was worth
I'll
asking.
find
Okay. So, in our past sessions, we watched a group of students at Strixhaven begin to uncover a sinister plot at the campus, coming to learn that an evil group of chaos magic users known as the Auric hope to enact an unknown plan centered on the college. Their investigations at the school culminating in an attack on one of their close friends. Our group of students unable to apprehend the culprits, this eventually leading them to flee the campus with a trusted professor. This professor proclaiming that the school's safety is compromised, something our party did not take lightly as they decided to leave with the professor. After leaving campus, only hours after the attack, we would see our group of students venture aboard or venture across the planet of Arcavios. With the help of a former friend of their professor, the party would move about the continent for almost 2 months, managing to find a means to keep themselves hidden via non-detection spell brands, guaranteeing that these chaos magic users could not track their exact movements. Though sadly, the professor would be unable to receive one of these spell brands, causing her to leave our group of former students for some time. The professor and her party would all be searching for a means to conceal her location from the Auric. With weeks passing, the group would not find something to help their professor, but they would uncover a few members of this chaos magic group. Our party even managing to kill an individual responsible for creating these wicked creatures known as mage hunters, monsters that work within the Chaos Users organization. After a nearly fatal encounter in the midst of a play, our party would resolve themselves to leave the city, seeking to track down the professor, seeing as our group of former students have recently learned that she's been captured on the planet of Ravnica. The band of misfits employing the professor's friend who helped them traverse Arcavios previously, climbing on board the familiar allies' spell-jamming ship and setting off to the Astral Sea. This being the sort of first portion of our game and where we'll pick up, seeing our party set out from Arcavios on board Captain Casper's Dragonfly spell-jamming ship. The Blades of the North no longer a trio, but a duo. Our party would find out that Banthan, the former two-handed specialist of the Blades, departed a few weeks back, and they've been unable to find a quote-unquote suitable replacement since. When we last saw our crew, they had traveled on foot for almost 2 days straight before finally being picked up in the dead of night along the rocky coasts of the Pinzari Isles. Once safe on board, they would put together a meal for themselves as the ship would breach the skyline, followed by the atmosphere, likely as they'd be eating, relaxing, trying to recoup from their long 2 days travel, Captain Casper would likely enter the sort of commons quarters where there'd likely be, the remnants of food and drink, probably at the end of a hearty meal. Nice, probably 2-ish hour long rest so far that you guys have all sort of caught your breath. Captain Casper entering and looking at all of you. First off, thank the gods we got you kids out of there. Now that we don't have a restriction to word count, I suppose, I'd like to hear what in the nine hells exactly happened. The whole story since I last saw you all, please. And
Well, first of all, it wasn't the gods. Thank us for getting us out of there.
More like thank you, Captain, sir. Thank you for getting us out of here is what Gail meant.
Yeah, no, for real, Gail.
Well, yeah,
come on.
collective us. Like, all of us are included. I just meant the gods did nothing.
I mean, I don't know. I was on stage, to be honest, so I only just got some bad vibes and sent some good vibes, and then, like, skedaddled.
Pretty sure Saloon was there, so
Whoa.
yeah. There's at least one.
I mean, I definitely sensed a lot of bad vibes, being, oh god, what would you call being on receiving end of an illusion?
attacked?
Weak-minded.
Targeted?
Psychic
Being
attack?
charmed. That's the word, being
Charmed.
charmed.
Ah. You got psychic attacked?
Yeah. I guess we didn't. I mean, we kind of talked about it.
We were
Yeah,
kind of like go mode for the last 2 days.
True. Yeah, and during your performance, they just suddenly like attacked some of us mentally. I was like back in my house as a kid, but it wasn't fun. My nose was bleeding a lot when I came back to. Like, it hurt.
Okay. What else happened to everyone else?
Koski like saw his village burning,
Yeah,
right?
Koski mentioned something about seeing his village being on fire. Did he say anything else to you guys, Marius? Anything?
I mean, I never got the illusion. I just kind of felt like I was drowning at one point, but
Oh yeah. You and Aelity were like drowning or spitting up water.
I mean, like high level, everything that's happened since he dropped us off here. I mean, there's a lot more than just that play.
Captain
I don't know
Casper
where he
probably
wants to
moving and
start.
he probably moves and sits down and looks at you, Marius. Let's start from when I dropped you off in Port Starsail. How about that? What, about 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago? And
I'd say for like, wait, all right. I said, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we don't need to role play out the entire catch-up convo. That would probably be very long-winded, but I would at least say, would you tell Captain Casper, everything, assumingly, just the whole story, start to finish?
Just the highlights. Like, it was quiet. We laid low. Then we took the job for the whatever creature.
Oh, the slot.
Slot.
The highlights, yeah. And then if we trust him, I'd tell him about Garther. If it was more of just like, he's a solid dude, then I would just maybe skip that part.
I mean, I feel like we trust this guy.
I also feel
Okay.
like we trust this guy, but as a group, we did decide to let Marius make more of these kinds of judgment calls.
Marius is the leader.
Oh,
So
God.
it's your call. We'll act off of whatever your lead is.
I'm just saying this is the one person that we called in our time of need. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
you know.
to go help us rescue our mentor.
He's a trusted taxi, okay? He wasn't in the trenches with us. He
he's
shuttled us
only
around.
yeah, he's only taken us in and trained us on some battle tactics and stuff.
You
No
know.
big deal.
Because you got attached and caught feelings. It's not my problem.
I
All
have
right,
a
yeah,
moment. Poor
problem and you
judgment.
know it.
yeah, I'll tell him. I'll be, I'm talking about the slot, and then we figured out what Garth was creating, so we had to stop him. And then the orc found us at the play, and Brett was crushing it, and then we left.
Probably after hearing the whole story, it probably takes a little bit of time. The ship traveling on, you guys would assume that Glenn is probably up piloting while Captain Casper is conversing. After the story, he would sort of sit back in his chair, a bit of a mixed look of surprised and maybe a little impressed, even sprinkled in there. You all have been awfully busy these past weeks. Found 4 members of these Auric, killed one, got threatened by the others. So I guess I shouldn't undervalue the whole stopping them from empowering those, what are they called? Hunter things. That's probably pretty big. I didn't think you guys would have something like that in you, but by the gods, you
We also took their notes.
took their notes.
Yeah, we have these letters here, and Kellen will reach into the quiver and pull out the letters and lay them out onto the table, and he'll put them in the order that he's that he's shown everybody, and he'll show Captain Casper. And then he'll also, does he? Yeah, I think he still has the grimoire, right?
Yeah, I don't
I
remember
think
you
so.
handing it off.
Yeah, I think I still have it. So he'll also reach into he'll have one of the tentacles reach into the quiver, and it'll bring out the grimoire as well. It'll be like, this was also with Garther's stuff.
Huh.
Just like if you look at the letters, who he was talking with, and where he was at in the stage of research when we killed him, I feel like it's pretty safe to assume this hasn't gotten out yet. Like, yeah, people knew he was working on it, but nobody knows how to recreate it, I think.
I mean, check out. From what I recalled, you guys wanted this Garther character for his knowledge on that sort of shit. Huh.
Yeah, it would have been nice if he could have not been evil, but yeah, I don't think that was really gonna turn out any other way.
Right. All right. Colazzo. Did you all recognize that name? Was this one of the people at the theater, assumingly?
Agnes and his wife were there.
Yeah, we assume that
Mm-hmm.
the milky-eyed, white-haired guy with the also the eye patch, right?
He had a scar over his eye.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we assume that that's the Aegis.
Agus.
Aegis.
Yeah.
Agus.
I mean, I'm not familiar with the Colossos, but I've heard of them. Big name family in Port Starsail. A lot of influence.
A lot. Try they run that fucking town.
Yeah, they
I
really.
could
Oh,
see
everyone was surprised he was there.
Interesting.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of surprised I didn't pick up on it sooner, but everybody was following his orders basically.
And honestly, what was he doing there? He's not known for going out.
Oh, I mean, his wife is like the one who comes to like all our shows and stuff and like funds them. But it is true that like I guess he doesn't normally show up. Like my friend was telling me about it. I'll just relay on any like rumors and stuff that my friend talked about when we were like behind the curtain for the show.
Fair. That's fair. You remember your friend talking about how the Colazzos heavily funded the creation of the Tailspun Theater, being that his wife is such a fan and the theater they had previously just wasn't up to standard, and so after a few years the Tailspun Theater was built, this grand theater. There weren't too many other rumors. Yeah, it was crazy he was here. You heard a few rumors that, the son didn't show up with him. Some people wanted to see if the son was going to be attendance because he was rumored to be missing. Then the flyers disappeared. And as you're probably going through this, Captain Casper leans forward. I think what I'm currently stuck on is this third figure. Again, you guys have assumed this Agus Colazzo. He's a part of the Auric. These are Nezas. It's a safe assumption they're in on all of this based on conversations. But that third figure, who the hells was that third figure? What did they look like?
I don't believe Brett saw this person, correct?
I could do a minor illusion of a little bust of his face. His stupid chaos smug eating shit eating grin face.
Give me an Arcana check with advantage as you sort of make it appear. And this is just for fine details. You'll be able to hit at least the general look. This is just for how much you're able to fully capture this illusion.
Yeah, and Kellen would try to help Gel out, remember the details and be like, yeah, he had this white hair and this really shitty mustache.
You said Arcana with advantage?
With advantage, and since Kellen's hopping in, I'll let you. I'll lower the DC by 1.
Yeah. Ooh, natural 20.
20
for 23. As Gale just doesn't even speak and just draws up a circle in the air, and then this bust of his face from the shoulders up just starts to form out of air inside the circle.
The natural 20. The image you make is that man, that unknown figure, and he would have this almost dastardly, this sinister grin across his face. Gale, the image you're pulling from is the last time you saw them as the three, as Year3, Arneza, Agus Colazzo, and this unknown figure all looked gleefully as you all fled the theater in a panic after their spell work.
I mean, it makes sense that would be the strongest image in her mind right now.
Casper sort of takes it in as he's looking at it.
I have no idea who he was, but he was oozing chaos magic.
Yeah, I've never seen this guy before, but this is good. This is good. If you can duplicate this, maybe we can ask some questions. Maybe whenever we get a hold of Lily, we'll be able to show her.
Yeah, she'll know what to do with this whole situation, and the fact that guy was making the mage hunters, and yeah, we just gotta get her out of her situation.
Right.
Ravnica.
That's a good transition, though, Brett. Suppose we best talk about Lily and her situation. I don't know too much about Ravnica, the place itself. I know it's huge. Been there a couple times. What I do know is Rakdos and his cult are dangerous. I honestly can't imagine what they do to captives, but we'll figure that out once we get there, one thing at a time. In that vein, full travel time, so to speak. We probably got about 14 days till we breach the chronosphere. That's the sphere we're currently in. Once we hit the seas, we got about 2 months. We'll get to the
2
omnisphere.
months.
I'm not quite done, Gale. 2 months, we'll get to the sphere. Again, the omnisphere. Once we breach it, get into the sphere. Glenn estimates we may have about 10 days from there. Looking like our travel time is just going to be under a little under 3 months. I would take it.
Is she still gonna be alive when we get there?
Is there no other way to get there faster? Anything you...
This is as fast
You
as we
heard it?
got. I mean, this is the Dragonfly is a notably fast ship. It's one of the only real advantages we have. It's going at full speed. If I go too much faster, we risk burning out the helm. We risk falling apart in the astral sea, which we do not want. This is what we have to do.
Magical we could potentially do?
Look, I know you have good intention, Marius, but you know me. Am I a magic user guy? Does it look like I know of a way to do that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you've heard
This
of
is-
something.
Well, you all
Gail's
called me
staring
for
at
a
Kellen.
ride. This is the best I got.
What are you
No,
looking at me
we're-
for, Gale?
We're grateful. I just had to ask.
I know.
I
I
mean-
wish I could do more. I wish I could get you all there faster, but this is the price. We use that time as best we can, so when we get there, we're at the peak of our skill to do what we need to do.
I mean, I have one idea of something we could work on. Still staring at Kellen.
What are you looking at me for?
Your spark.
What do you? We know that there's nothing I can do with that.
Yeah, we traumatize you, right?
I was
Okay,
throwing me
but
overboard.
Like a thing to do. It would only get Kellen somewhere. Like, it wouldn't even help the rest of us.
What are you all talking about?
Nothing.
I look at
Magic stuff.
Something like that has like a 2% chance of working. And again, it only does something for me. It's not even probably worth mentioning at this point, Captain.
Yeah, that is a good point. That, like, I guess, yeah, even if we did activate it, you're not going to be able to take everyone with you. But we still need to work on that because you could be as strong as Liliana.
I don't even do like magic, really. Oh, I just don't.
Yeah, and you went to a magic school for a whole year and learned nothing?
2 years.
I mean, I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I learned-
2 years?
I learned a few things. I learned a lot
Yeah.
about magic. Again,
He's playing Dragon Chess with the Auric. He's busy.
I was hanging out with Marius, and I was creating business empires with Aelity, and I was trying to manage Brett's career.
career.
After trying to tank it.
Yeah, well, now we have 3 months. So, welcome to Gale's course for magic. That's
Oh, well,
Gale's
we
plan
can't
now.
let-
She's-
Ellen looks over.
We
at
can't
Marius.
let your physical abilities fall behind Gale. So if you're running your boot camp, I'm running my camp for you.
Ellen looks over at Marius. Do you really think that she's like the best person to teach us?
Well, I think maybe we could just like train as a group effort. But maybe
What's the highest arcana?
I don't know.
It could possibly be me. I have a
It
3.
might actually.
Kellen has a 7.
Oh, mine's a
What?
5.
Why?
A-
Why
Aelity
is your
has a
arcana
2.
so high?
I got 2, baby.
He's He's been doing a lot of studying on magic, yo, just because he doesn't use it.
See, we need
Kellen
to
can give you
apply
the
this
theories,
knowledge.
and I can do the practicality.
You're like a theoretical physicist, but like the arcane version.
Yeah. There's all that time that he was spending in the labs.
Well, Brett thinks everyone can use a little acrobatic spellcasting practice, so don't worry about it. He's gonna hook you up.
Think
fitting
2 elementals trying to bring out a spark.
I mean,
Looking
no,
at
he's training everyone, including you, Gale. You're not getting out of this.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, but we need to focus on him.
No, you're gonna make it shy. What if it's a shy spark? You don't know his spark.
What? Okay. Not even gonna argue.
So anyway, do we have to like make like stops or anything, Captain Casper, along the way?
We have one planned stop since we had a bit of a hasty pickup. We didn't fully anticipate this when we left our last port. We need supplies. Probably need any random items that you all may be in need of. I'm sure Glenn has some creature comforts she would like to attend to. The only stop we have planned is a small plot, a little tract of land nestled about a day outside the actual shell itself. It's aptly called First Rock. This will be our one stop. It's very small, just a trade port, really. A trade post, wouldn't even call it a port. A cluster of buildings run by the Interspherical Trade Union, of course. I think in tandem with the Elven Star Militia. To be perfectly honest, I've only left the sphere a handful of times. This will be not a learning endeavor, but shaking off the rust. Ventures in the astral sea are interesting. Speeds increase. Can be turbulent, a little unpredictable.
So just prepare for a bumpy ride.
Is that
right.
within the spheres or outside of the spheres, or just in general?
Outside, we are currently on the interior. The wild space is it's commonly referred to. Fairly safe, calm for the most part. Don't have to worry about currents or surges. With all of that said, probably Aelity, Marius, after breakfast tomorrow morning, I need you two to come over to the bridge. Glenn and I can't keep piloting this thing over the course of the whole trip. You two are going to learn to do a little bit of spell jamming, at least at first. If some of you are interested, we have time, but we're going to need you guys to help out a bit more this time around.
Yeah, whatever you need.
I mean, I wouldn't mind having a crack at it if we got time.
Should be fairly standard. Figure we'd start with you two, get you comfortable in wild space. Once we hit the seas, you'll get to experience that, see the lengths that it can go. Partway through the voyage, we could probably switch over, get some more of you guys trained, start you on the sea. Then once we get to the Omnisphere, you can learn about the calm wild space winds.
Sounds good, Captain.
Excellent. There's nothing else. Guys, have earned some sleep, earned some rest. Glenn and I will take care of the ship for next 24-ish hours or so till we get Aelity and Marius in there acclimated. So take this time, do what you all need to do, be ready for training. Casper would stand up, not really give a salute, but almost give like a half torso bow and like mid walk as he steps out of this common quarters, hearing him step down the stairs, likely heading to the bridge.
All right.
If there's nothing
Good.
else, ship
Good job,
repaired.
everyone.
Plans made. As you guys travel further and further, again, this is only a couple hours after really, leaving the shores of the Pinzari Isles. Those of you that maybe look out the window and could see Arcavios, you would see it become smaller and smaller and smaller as you would travel on. And as it grows smaller, venturing farther out into wild space, those of you that would be paying attention would feel the ship beginning to speed up. Those of you vaguely familiar with spell jamming tech and sort of how it works, leaving a planet's gravity pool is pretty good for ships. Speeds usually increase. So as this thing begins to pick up over the hours, properly leaving Arcavios behind in wild space. As we begin to set out on essentially the first 14 days, the first little portion of our trip to Arcavios, to Ravnica. What would you guys want to be getting into over the first bit here?
Just a fun little thing. Not every day, obviously, but maybe just randomly. Well, then again, I say this is a fun little thing. Air quotes around fun. Gail's going to try to wake up early, one day, maybe on this first week, to try and just wake Kellen up with a little minor shocking grasp.
Again,
It's
we had
it's a
it. We had
spark,
it
right?
last time, but we had just such a firm grasp on what trauma is. in this group.
She's
I
like,
love it.
So here for it.
she's like, yeah, I know this isn't. This probably isn't the right idea, but
I'm so here for it.
I mean, I would say we wouldn't need to roll anything, especially on the first day. Anyways, he'd be unconscious, just sort of sleeping. Easy enough, just shock awake. Kellen, you probably in the midst of not really like a dreamscape, just a restful sleep before a violent wake up in your hammock here on board the spell jamming ship. Gale probably standing there, just eyes wide, looking at you, seeing if your spark is doing anything, whatever that would look like.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you? What the fuck?
do you feel anything?
Yeah, you're
feel it?
shocking me.
No, your spark.
I don't think that's how this works. That's no, Gale, no, please, no, get out of here, please. Oh God.
All right, fine. As I leave, I prepped healing words, so I heal him after.
Aelity probably gets up out of her hammock after being woken up. She rubs her eyes awake. Well, I guess I'll start breakfast a little early today. And she touches down on the ground and begins to head out and get ready for the day and begin making food.
Better watch out, Kellen.
Oh God.
And if there's nothing, do you have something?
Yeah, I mean, just that Brett would, he'll be following through with his plan of trying to run more physical training, the sort of stuff they were doing on their way here originally with the person who's no longer here now.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he would kind of be filling that part of that person's role, training with Elodie and Kellen during the day when Marius and Gale are learning about spell jamming, and then maybe he trains with them after they're done with their spell jamming parts for the day.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Beginning to work in a bit of a routine, doing that every couple of days sort of vibe. Every other day sort of routine.
Yeah, sure. Whatever he can convince people on board with. He'll, he's a physical guy. He'll always be doing something that people can join
yeah, I'm sure you'll be working out every day, but as far as your group planned activity,
I think you can convince Gale every other day.
Okay,
that seems fair.
Kellen would be,
and he also cool, and he also has those sending spells. So if we need to contact Liliana. He's able to do that.
Check in on her.
Update her. Get updates.
Fair. That's fair. Probably in the course of like those first like maybe 1 or 2 days out, maybe after like the first training session with Brett, maybe like that night, Aelity would probably approach you, Gale, maybe like after dinner, maybe like as dinner's being served, sort of vibe, somewhere around that time. Somewhere in the common room, she probably would like sit down. After like maybe like an awkward silence that like Aelity's sort of prone to, she would probably just blurt out, "Hey, you've gotten really good at like casting spells like really quick and like subtly. Like, how'd you do that exactly?"
Oh, I mean, I just kind of kept working at it. I mean, I don't know. I noticed at school, like, the way, not everybody does magic exactly in the same way, I feel like I'm just kind of pulling from myself and I'm able to kind of, create shortcuts a bit. You know what I mean? Like I may not be doing the same exact, like, runes as somebody else, but I'm still getting the same end result.
Right. Makes sense. Do you think you could teach me how to do that? I feel like when Phineas was in control, I could manipulate my magic kind of like you could. You're really fluid with it. And ever since I sort of took over, it's felt more rigid, like affixed, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I mean, like, especially like flying, that kind of took me a while to figure out. That one did not. It really hurt my butt was bruised. Like, let me tell you. But yeah, we could work on that.
Cool. Figured it's worth a shot, right? Trying to get better and all that stuff.
No harm in trying. So if you just do this, and then she just like does a whole bunch of stuff real quick, it's like whoa.
And then he's like, "Let's just finish eating. We could do it tomorrow." I've been flying a ship all damn day, and then Brett kicked my ass for 3 hours.
Sorry.
With love.
And so we'll just say that's sort of baked into this again, at least the first portion of you working a little bit more with Aelity, trying to show her that sort of subtle and quick casting. And we'll say at least by the end of it, at least maybe by the time you guys get to First Rock, Aelity gets to pick up her level 8 feat of meta magic.
Oh, nice.
Adept.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, wait, is this something like Benny's talked about, or?
Yeah, I tried to ask him, and he didn't say anything back. So it's like, it's okay. We'll just
That's
pick with
cool,
this,
though.
and then if he wants to change it, we can change it whenever he gets back.
Yeah, those are so handy, though. Nice.
All right. If there's nothing else over these first couple of days, probably around.
Can I
Mr. Kelly.
impose?
Of course, my good sir. I just had another cutscene to load up, but if you got stuff, let's do that.
I've got a couple things on my mind. So I remember when we first boarded the ship, Kellen had approached Marius and kind of talked to him about learning some meditation and stuff. So he would approach Marius on that too, and then he would actually approach both Gale and Brett on it as well, just to kind of hear what their ideas and their styles are, and try to practice with them a couple times as well. And then the last thing that he would do is ever since he legitimately thought he was gonna die back in the theater. And one of the things that was running through his mind was actually his deal that he made with Vors. And so I think on one of the nights he would like step out onto the bow of the ship or the spell jamming vessel up onto the upper deck, kind of look out at the stars, and like as they're kind of traversing through the night skies and stuff, he wants to like kind of like fiddle with the ring and kind of like touch it and like tune into it, and he wants to talk to Vors. And
So you get that familiar ring, feel the thrum as again you sort of have this like on-off switch that you leave on most times, but probably turn off on occasion and sort of reactivate it. Feel that sort of presence in the back of your mind. It's like just this presence that just lingers, not imposing.
Hey, Vors. So I don't know. There was just a lot that's been happening lately, and I just got to thinking. You're a part of the team now. Like you and me, we're together. And so I wanted to give you the opportunity to just kind of stretch your legs out and maybe just get a feel for this what you call vessel, I guess. You used to be a warrior and stuff, and so like I don't need to be in control during the night. So like I don't know if you wanted to get out and stretch your legs and take a walk around and just get a feel for what it's like to be in a body again. Like feel free.
I would not mind getting to stretch my legs, so to speak. It would likely feel strange not being in my own body.
Right, but I mean, like, think of this as like a temporary, just I, like training wheels, I guess, until we can get you back, right?
Right.
'Cause, like,
And he would try
what
to.
if something crazy happens to me and you have to take over or something? I'm just better to be prepared.
What would happen to you? This is a strange line of thought, Kellen.
I just had.
But this being your vessel, I feel it not best to impose my will on your graciousness. You could have left me where you found me, and you didn't. You could have banished me once you saw my rabid state at first. You did not. Thank you.
Of course, and again, just if you just want to like for a couple minutes, just like stretch your legs or something, just let me know. I'll keep the line open, if you will.
Where would our current location be?
We are currently aboard a spell jamming vessel. I don't know if you know what that is, Vors. But we're on a ship that's taking us through the astral sea. We're heading towards Ravnica. Do you know about Ravnica?
Never heard of this place or this sea.
Ah,
You have mentioned this vessel previously, though many of your other words make little or no sense to me.
yeah, I'll have to figure out a way to describe all of this stuff to you one day. Again, maybe this is where I can lend you my eyes and you can see it for yourself. Pretty amazing.
Curious thought. Will you let me know when I can stretch my legs? Again, I do not wish to impose.
Give it a go right now. It's pretty beautiful out here tonight.
after a little bit of a pause, give me a charisma saving throw, which you can choose to fail if you so
Choose to
choose.
fail.
We can
Oh, God.
feel that sort of shift as this like detachment would come. Your perspective's still through your eyes, but it's almost like you drift back further in your mind. Like you're viewing it through a lens or a screen, through a window almost.
Set of
And you-
binoculars.
Yeah, and he just kind of like says like under his voice, but I'm sure Vor's can hear it in his head. "Ah, so this is what it's like."
And like as you sort of drift back, it's really just like a 6-second window of like drifting back. You can sort of see Vor's like taking over, like looking at your hands and sort of like moving them, flexing them. And after that brief window of seeing that darkness, you're in just a dark space, floating. You feel a presence surrounding you. Like you're not alone. You don't feel alone. And then the voice probably comes through the entire space. Wow, this is amazing. As from the outside, Kellen would just be holding onto the banister, like looking over at the beauty of wild space, this like black starscape just encircling the ship as it's sailing through. I've never seen anything like this. We're in the sky, sailing through the stars.
Right, beautiful, isn't it?
I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but when do you think I can have my own vessel?
I'm hoping soon. We're on our way to find Captain Professor Liliana, and I mean she's the most powerful magic user that we know, and she'll surely be able to help us.
And once you all are helped, aided with these people that endanger you, then we will pursue a vessel for myself.
Absolutely.
Something I could return back to my
That'll
home.
be my new.
Try to.
That'll be like my new mission.
Right. I'm not feeling quite so good. Ooh. Could you please take back over?
Oh yeah. Sorry. It's probably different for you.
And again, similar, you expel your will, and Vors would fail to save willingly. And you feel this ascension rising through the darkness, the window appearing as you feel this connection back in control. Give me a Constitution saving throw as your stomach is in knots. 15. You managed to sort of hold it down after like about a minute or so of being back in control. The the air sickness, the seasickness, so to speak, wears off.
He does the like you know when you vomit in your mouth a little bit and you just have to hold it back and it's like yeah.
I apologize. I have not traveled on many vessels like
I know
this.
it's totally okay, Boris. Yeah, it takes some getting used to. It happened to me the first couple times too, so you're all good. Yeah, and I just thanks for the help and thanks for the information. I know that this is a weird situation for both of us, and so I just want you to know, thinking about you, man.
I do appreciate it, Kellen. You are a good man.
Yeah, probably not, but I'm gonna go back inside and check up on everybody else. I'll let you know if I find anything more out. I'll just keep you posted on the information that we find out.
Excellent.
And yeah, that will be it.
Sort of up on deck and sort of take in the sight a little bit, unencumbered by conversation. And it is beautiful. Again, only a couple of days into the trip into wild space. After a bit of an exhale, probably had like a passing thought that, like, man, he would freak out if he knew that you were on a spell jamming ship in wild space. Never where you thought you'd end up. Like, reflecting back on your childhood.
And I think that's why, like, he's kind of like, he wanted to share this moment with Forrest, because he's just like, damn, dude, like, I never thought that I would be here, and this is just, like, he's kind of taking in the beauty of the scene of all of it, like, also, like, taking into account, like, yeah, our lives are very much so in danger, and, like, I'm also carrying the life of somebody else with me.
Something Marius can relate to. Am I right, Marius?
What?
Carrying another life inside, kind of like Kellen.
Why is everybody gotta bring up my business?
That's in the past.
That's your child.
I'm talking about
Anyway.
that or Garther, okay?
In
the past. He used me.
And taking it all in, Kellen, you begin to head back down to the actual, like, cargo deck and the sort of quarters themselves. Again, a couple of days into this, maybe like 3-4-ish days, Brett, you probably have been, keeping up conversations with Quint over the course of the trip and, like, leaving Port Starsail. On this particular day, maybe like midday, maybe like in the middle of like a practice session you just had, maybe taking a bit of a breather, Quint would reach back out, feeling the thrum of the sending stone, the way he has to reach out to you still. And probably for the first time in a while, he brings up Strixhaven. For the first time in days, he brings up the school year. He was sort of nervously, sort of just almost like absently, like not even part of the fluid conversation. So everything should be like fine at Strixhaven, right?
I mean, that's not super clear, to be honest. We don't have any eyes in there. We don't have any ears in there. We don't have a single appendage in there.
You're right. That's me. That's what I'm going to do.
But do you feel okay doing that?
I mean, honestly, I'm kind of scared shitless. I realized the other day I've never had to face Strixhaven without, I mean, to be more direct, you. And so it's a little intimidating.
Yeah. Well, I've never faced it without you. I mean, technically, you were there first, and then I saw you. So technically, you have.
It was only a couple days. I mean, you know me, had to be there on the first day of classes. Orientation.
Yeah, you're such a planner. It's so cute.
It'll be fine. And that's what I'll do. But you remember, when I first woke up, I just wanted a job. I got a job. Even if it's scary, I gotta do my job.
Well, I wish I could be there with you.
I mean, you're basically here with me like all the time. It's kind of amazing. I wish you were here, but I mean, having your voice is like a pretty close second.
Yeah, I'm glad that I don't have to worry about spell slots to talk to you.
That's true. When you find Liliana, you really gotta give her another thanks for the sending stone. It's been a real blessing.
Oh, absolutely.
I probably would have gone crazy, honestly.
Oh, I would have been crazy with worry.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Okay. We could do it. I mean, you got to sit on board that ship. And I got to go back to classes. Be your eyes and ears and arms and appendages.
Well, you have to be like really well armored ears, like ears with like a whole helmet.
It's true. You're right. I still have that amulet thing, the anti-scrying amulet, so I'll be safe since we couldn't get that to Liliana. Yeah.
Do we have to speak aloud for sending stones?
I don't think so. No. I mean, I think you can if you choose to, but I don't think you have to.
I mean, you probably already have this habit, like with your family around and stuff. But like, just in case, since you don't have like a tattoo like us, maybe make sure you're always like thinking in your head instead of talking out loud. In case anyone's like spying on you, just in case. Hopefully they're not.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess it's just. I guess I just hold it and speak at it like it's you. It's stupid. You're right. You're right.
Oh, okay. And then Brett's also gonna make a bunch of recommendations of who Quinn should be hanging out with, like who he'd be compatible with, so that he can have a nice big friend group, so that he's not alone.
And he'd probably go through that over like 5-6 minutes. This is Brett's just like, oh, and this person, they're super nice. And oh, it'll be their second year. They were in my running group. Oh, they were so fast. Just a list of names.
Yeah.
Don't forget Mayru.
Oh, I'm sure Mayru's on there. I'm sure like Rosie and Greta are like on there.
Sure. What are Mina?
Big old list of names. Mina and Ingrid maybe have question marks by their names on the list.
maybe just check in on them, see how they're doing.
And like probably at the end of it, Quint's like, you know, on his end, probably looking over this list he scrawled out. Right. I mean, this was probably a good time to talk about it. I mean, some of these people could be like allies. They could be like more eyes and ears for us, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I guess
Like
they could be bad guys too. We don't know who bad guys are here.
Yeah. Well, have you been working on your detect magic?
I have. I'm actually pretty good at it. I've actually been trying to learn how to, you know, do a little bit of spell work, you know, like non-verbally and with like no hand symbols. It's really, really hard. Like not just anyone can do that stuff.
Oh, I bet you make it look easy.
I'm getting better at it, but yeah, I got it. It's actually it's in my primer, funny enough. So it should be pretty easy, I think. I'll get better. That'll be one of the things. The other thing, I don't know if I told you, I think I found my major. I am going to go with teleportation. I feel like it makes sense. Either if I could learn how to do it, that would be crazy. But if I could at least know how it works, that could be big. That could be huge.
Yeah, that could be huge. Yeah, which is like perfect, because don't forget, if you need to bail, you gotta bail. Like you gotta get out. You gotta get out. That's what we did.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. An exit strategy makes sense. Yeah. I'll figure it out.
You have to be careful.
I have to be careful. You have to be careful. You're flying through space, heading through spheres and stars. What is that?
You know, just like a little odyssey. You know, just he's a little flustered.
I like it though. The Odyssey of Hotman has a ring to it.
Oh. Well, I can only power through it knowing that you're waiting for me at the end of it all.
Okay, you gotta stop reading my mind. I was just about to say the same thing. It's kind of creepy and adorable at the same time.
Well, we haven't lost it.
Yeah, we still got it.
We got
Always
it.
will.
Always.
Okay, I'll let you get back to who are you beating up today? I mean, training.
Elodie is showing a lot of improvement.
That's surprising. That's surprising. Any news on Phineas yet? Any more gossip?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine Brett has kept him updated on that situation.
Yeah, so he's just like, is there more? Because he just wants to hear the drama.
Yeah. I don't think so. We're hoping Liliana will have more to say when we get a hold of her, so just gotta wait 3 months. That's not so hard, right?
I mean, what's 3 more months? It's already been like almost 5. So like, what's that?
Easy. It's nothing.
Okay. Will you get back to it? I love you. Be safe.
Love you. Be safer.
Probably, feel the thrum of the sending stone in your pocket just slowly dissipate. Aelity probably looking at you sweating. What the fuck are you doing? You've been staring at me for like 15 minutes.
Oh. Just having a conversation. Sorry. We'll get back to it.
Right. You guys get back to training. Aelity, again, she's doing good for a caster. Anything else? And we'll say, I don't know, we'll just call it the first week of this 2-week trek to the edge of the sphere.
Just for fun flavor, I want to like roll athletics to see how Gail's been doing in those.
The trainings?
Yeah.
Hey!
18 with a
Nice.
-1. That means I rolled a 19.
Gail's been keeping up. I mean, she's gotten a lot better. I mean, it's like we were saying last session. Like when you guys first got on board this ship, even then, like back when you were leaving Strixhaven, you guys were so different. You guys are like hardened adventurers now.
Only took 8 levels.
Ellen would love to sit down with Marius in the war room on the ship and take a look through Garther's grimoire. Just see if there's any useful information in there.
Shit. All right.
He knows the practical
Marius.
application of magic.
Yeah, I was just about to say Marius knowing probably a lot of the like applications of this, being the sort of Arcana guy, like in tandem with Gale as well. But Marius has had a knack for this stuff. And yeah, you probably pull out the grimoire. It looks very nice and ornate on the surface. Fine, detailed covering with this like inlay etching of just like a floral design, almost like various plants and fauna. Not in a loud way. It's not colored. It's all this like leather bound, just this fine stitch work.
Beautiful.
Fairly large. It's not a very small tome by any stretch of the imagination. One of you guys or both of you give me either investigations from each of you, or one of you can have advantage if someone would rather help.
I've got a 7 to my investigation and a 7 to my Arcana.
Yeah, maybe I just give him guidance and let him roll advantage.
Okay.
Pat him on the back. All right, Kellen, this is what we're looking for.
Guidance.
26?
Oh.
26. As you guys begin flipping through the pages of this tome, you begin to see some basic spell work. A couple cantrips, dancing lights, the gust cantrip, some simple spells. A couple pages after that, again, very simple, almost cantrips, maybe like a level 1 spell. You would come across notes, and you would flip through, and many of these notes would begin detailing the very intricate creation of the Mage Hunters. Seeing that without getting too much in the mud of the details, that after covering all these many pages of notes in the grimoire, this particular section, you would see that the Mage Ripper swarms, the almost extinct species, Garther is able to get a specimen, mutate it, splice it with other creatures, grow it, foster it, have them create offsprings, begin transmutation effects on the offsprings. This process taking about what you can maybe guess just over the course of this, maybe about a year or so. Towards the beginning, there were a lot of theoretical notes, a lot of guessing, not even exactly pertaining to the Mage Ripper, just theories. And then partway through these notes is when it very much begins very specifically on the Mage Ripper swarms. The notes eventually leading on, showing the final process of the Mage Hunters. And the final section of these notes would begin detailing a dark ritual, something you guys saw. There'd be various iterations of it. Some of them even having small, like, notes off to the side of some of these ritualed out sections of the tome. Too powerful, dangerous, corruptive. And the last sort of input, the last version of this ritual spell, there's no real notes. It seems to be like a final draft. Looking it over, all these variations contain the phage permutation, the essence that Marius was able to actually have extracted from him. And these are all various minute-long ritual castings of these spells to empower a mage hunter specifically. This handcrafted spell work, specifically designed for it. And looking through those, and the final portion of the tome, it is littered with different chaos magic spells and spellworks, a few theory pages. But here, let me show you some of the spells that are in here.
No, this is a bad idea.
There is the Bewilderment cantrip. There's a lot of them, so it may be like a bit of a flood, so I do apologize if it feels like a lot of bits. So there are the 4 cantrips found in here.
Oh, these are just cantrips. Oh.
There's a couple different levels of spells. As far as, meta game terms, for you guys, you just see this escalation of power. All of these spell works, they're essentially like kind of like spell scrolls, but it's more just like, oh, this is how you cast this particular cantrip. If you sat here long enough and like worked on it and some of the fine details, you think you could learn this magic sort of thing. Very easy to tell. Again, this is all chaos magic based. And with that high investigation, I would even make you guys do an Arcana check, especially seeing the detailing of the previous ritual. This is all very in line with that. And here are some level 1 spells located in here. Again, all lovely chaos magic. The level 1 spells. Here's some level 2 spells. This one would be very familiar. The very first one, again, in the power escalation here, you would see Burning Turmoil, level 2 spell that was used against you guys.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
These are crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
And there are 3 more spells. There are 2 level 3 spells. Commotion Quills. And this next one would be eerily familiar to Marius, as you would see the drowning spell.
Oh shit.
My God, it's wild. Drowning's intense.
It's brutal.
Alright.
Yeah,
And
if you didn't have subtle to cast that restoration on yourself, like that's how you did it, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
would have been
oh, fuck.
fucked,
That
Well,
was
at
clutch.
first,
It really was.
I wasn't sure
especially
if I
with how
had
long it was taking me to get out.
the last spell would be Havoc Wings, a level 4 spell. The strongest spell in here, besides the rituals to empower the Mage Hunter itself. You
That's
guys are
cool.
taking in all of this spell work. So both of you guys can either give me Arcana checks, or one of you can give it with advantage, and you can also pepper in guidance if you'd like, Marius.
I've got a 7 to my Arcana.
Yeah, you saw me be. I'll give you guidance again.
Four?
24. Based on your high investigation, your high Arcana, the spells in the beginning, the more traditional like spells, the couple of cantrips and like a level 1 spell, those look very matter of fact. Those look very purposeful. The ritual spells that you saw and these chaos spells, they all have etchings and mirings of a little bit of guesswork, a little bit of trial and error also on these. With your 2 high rolls, you would guess that these aren't spells that were necessarily taught to Garther, but these were spells that he
Concocted.
pursued. He concocted, learned, maybe saw and adapted, pieced together on his own. This magic wasn't, or the magic may have been handed to him, but these spells he progressed through. You would guess, looking at his previous spell work, that he was probably an amazing transmuter, probably came naturally to him. He was not a powerful magic user before this chaos magic came into the picture.
Mm.
What do you think the chances are that this is the reason that they're pissed off at us, Mayor?
I think there's a lot of reasons for them to be mad at
Yeah.
us.
Like, this has all the stuff that they need inside of it to recreate those creatures, right?
That's what it looks like. It doesn't. I mean, from the letters, it doesn't sound like anybody else really understood what he was doing.
Right, but they were using the stuff that he was producing for them. They were excited about the stuff that he was producing. Without information on how to reproduce the stuff, and without the guide to do it, kind of dead in the water, aren't they?
Did we destroy the book?
It's up to you, man. I don't know what the value of this is to you.
Well, maybe we'll ask the group, and we could check with Liliana and see what she has to say.
Okay. Oh, also, I still have this, and the tentacle pulls out the bottle of the phage permutation. Yeah, I took this off Garther.
I forgot you brought that.
Huh. I don't know what to say about that one. God, I'm not even sure what to do with it.
I'm not either. So, like, should we bring this up to the group?
Yeah, maybe we'll get the group together and ask Liliana and see if she thinks there's any use in keeping it. Or
I mean, we're months out from getting Liliana, and we know that she's alive or was alive. 3 months is kind of a long time.
well, if it's super important, I'd rather destroy it now just in case they catch up to us. I mean, they were pretty strong in that
They
theater.
were, and I mean, do you think that they could like? I mean, you know about like locate object spells and stuff, right? Like, is there a way that they can track us across the spheres and stuff with it?
I don't even know what kind of magic they would have. I mean, some of this chaos magic is beyond anything I'm familiar with. I'm just saying, why even risk it falling back into their hands? I mean, I don't think we should be messing
No,
with
I
chaos
definitely don't think we
magic.
should either. And again, I'm not inherently great at magic anyway, so I can't necessarily
Well,
do
let's just
anything with this.
we'll double check with the group, and I'm just saying maybe we should just be sure before we destroy it. It's not like we can bring it back.
I agree.
So yeah, at some point we probably convene the group, and I'd just be like, I want to destroy it, but we should make sure Liliana doesn't see a purpose and just see the vibe.
That's fair. That's fair. We'll say maybe it's like later on that day, maybe around like dinner time sort of vibe.
As much as I, as a player, really want to fuck around with this and
I
find
know.
out, I think Gail would be so vehemently opposed to this. She'd be like, "No, burn it, destroy it, get rid of it. We need to like."
All right, but I guess just
Input.
and then see what Liliana has to say. Because
I'm
if we're
sorry.
like, "Oh, burn it," and she's like, "Don't burn it," we might consider it not burning.
Yeah,
Um,
unless for some reason Liliana has some good fucking reason as to why we should keep this around. Maybe it could have some more secrets or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm all for burning it.
well, Brett thinks we should just ask Liliana. Like, if
Yeah,
we're all
that's
torn about it and want to do something right now, he is sending, so we can just tell her that we have a grimoire full of chaos spells, but also information about the mage hunters.
Yeah,
And
specify this is
it's
Garther's
Garther's.
grimoire.
Yeah. So, what should we do with it?
Fair. That's fair. So you're sending that message basically like right away?
I mean, assuming everyone in the group is fine with that.
So ask her what we do with
Garther's chaos.
yeah,
Grimoire.
and the phage permutation, the Marius's
Oh, yeah.
baby.
See,
So I have, let me see, where's my, so I have 5 spell slots I can use to sending in one day.
Easy
So
peasy.
I think, yeah, we could convey all that. Cool.
Yeah, I think you get all that conveyed, and even again, this is like day 4 or 5 on your trip, so you still have multiple days you could convey the message if need be as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so basically, just catching Liliana up, giving her like the general rundown of everything, and then asking her input. That's the vibe.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. again, she would probably have like a couple of like delayed responses, obviously, like thinking hard on some of this. Her ultimate wishes at the end being, if you've learned all you can from the book, destroy it. If you're destroying the book, you might as well destroy the permutation. Because right now you have the keys to empower those things on you. Not having them possibly fall back into the Oryx's hands. Be a little peace of mind.
Okay.
Burn it! Burn it to the ground!
Probably look through it one more time and let anybody else have an opportunity to look at it, and then I'd like to burn it.
I don't even
Do
think
some-
Gale would want to touch that thing. She's like, this chaos magic is so icky and gross. No, I'm a pure girl. Don't taint my magic. How dare you? She already doesn't like that people could cast chaos magic like at her or on her. Like, no.
Gonna give it one more look through with advantage of bardic inspiration and guidance.
Yeah, I mean, Brett will provide
Yeah.
a bardic inspiration and assist or something.
Load him up.
Final look through.
It's the final
Get it.
countdown.
As you guys are sort of teaming up on this next one, I'll lower the DC by a little bit as well, since Aelody is sort of probably there helping in some capacity. She wants to help as much as she can.
What you want me to roll?
Gale's just like, stop touching it so much.
Give me an investigation or an Arcana check. I'll let you pick whatever flavor you're taking. This.
It's the same in both, guys. So which one do you want me to go? Arcana or investigation?
We did an Arcana and got pretty. Wait, did we do the investigation and got high?
We got a high
Oh.
Arcana. I vote we do a high investigation because Brett would probably be like, "What's that weird thing?
Okay.
What's that? What's this?"
Investigation.
Alright.
Advantage, and then what's the bardic inspiration? It's a D8.
D8.
Nice.
Ooh, I'm gonna cast detect.
my god.
It's too damn
Wow.
well.
Gale's paranoid right now, so she wants to cast detect magic and have that up just to check everybody and make sure everyone's good.
We got a double nat 1 for Kellen's investigation check.
Yeah, that's really distracting
plus
when you point
8
things out like that.
Nope, but what
It's-
is that part?
It
just looks
we
important.
already went over this, Brad. Those are symbols for the magic stuff.
I don't think that's a scribble. I think this is an underline. I think
Brad,
this
no,
part's
God
important.
damn
I would say you are able to at least ascertain, because you do collectively still have a 16. You don't get a whole lot of info. But you do learn that the mage hunters are immune to being blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, or knocked prone.
Bastards.
Not even knocked prone? That's bullshit.
That's actually the manager.
How about blown to bits? Let's rip them apart. Okay, that's good to know. See, that's important. Okay, now let me burn it.
And I assume everyone's good on
We
the
good,
detect
boss?
magic. Not getting any chaos magic vibes from any person.
I mean, not that you're seeing. From the book, you are getting like this almost perfect outline around the book itself and almost around each page of this like purple energy that's almost laced throughout it. It's not like it's radiating energy, but it just shows that there is dark magic sealed in this book.
Yeah, that thing's like coated in it. I'm not touching that.
I propose
Good to
this.
burn it, boss. Good.
Burn it!
Old-fashioned book burning.
We'll see.
And then wash
See.
your hands afterwards or something. Ugh.
We'll see you guys head up to top deck, the upper deck maybe. Just sort of like put it on like center deck and just you're just going with the level 1 burning hands?
Yeah, for starters. I mean, I'm hoping that works.
I could also fire chromatic orb. Double
Picture
up
Brett
on
just holding it like over the edge of the boat and then blasting it with burning hands
Yeah, like pretty much is kind of what I'm imagining too.
and hoping it just disintegrates.
Like I'm hosing off like a dirty tray outside or something. You know, that kind of
Your
vibe.
muddy shoes.
Destroy the phage permutation too.
Ooh.
Oh.
So you're holding it out, and as you let out your burning hands onto the tome, you would see it resist at first. You would see the flames curl around the actual book, not actually setting it ablaze in the first couple of seconds. And you maybe panic, maybe a little bit of anger seeps in, and you let the flames surge. And after a full 6 seconds, you finally see the edges begin to catch as the book begins to disintegrate. 14 damage.
Pretty good. Wow.
As soon as your burning hands is done, there is a charred remain of this tome in hand. Almost every page being cindered. You could break it up into small little ash pieces if you really wanted to, but it does hold its form a little bit.
I imagine I'd be crumbling it up and maybe burning it because I also have I have that produce flame cantrip I could use to like break it apart and burn it and drop the bits into the
Oh, yeah.
astral sea.
You can hold it with a
Yeah.
mage hand and you can chromatic orb it.
I do have a mage hand as well, but someone else could mage hand it.
Yeah,
Gail
we'll
would
destroy
mage hand
to
it.
pieces.
She's not touching it, but she'll mage hand it.
Any bit you think is too large, you like bring back to Brett to like break down even further.
Yeah, no.
Hey, bro, we need to get rid of this too. Hands him the flask.
Oh, okay.
Boil it alive.
Well,
That
I don't
one's
know
super
much.
easy with the produce flame. Doesn't have much resistance or anything. The pieces of the burnt book sort of trailing behind you guys. As soon as they sort of break the general atmosphere here of the ship, they would just float still here in space. You can see this very light trail behind you guys. The flask, one produce flame, easy to heat it up, break it, and burst it with a mage hand. Just sort of push those pieces out. You see the liquid inside boil and pop and turn into like solidified small like pieces, like the few that remain, most of its excess being burned off as it joins the trail of ash as the dragonfly ship carries on throughout wild space here in the chronosphere.
Good
Celebratory
riddance.
blight leaf joint. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's what we should use the pages for.
Ew.
No, that would have been a
Has this
terrible
group-
idea.
No, that's no. Yeah,
That
that thing
would've
is
been a-
coated in chaos magic. Like that would
Yeah.
just
Makes it
breathing
spicy.
all that in. Ugh, no.
It'd be a wild ride.
No,
Party.
Bad
3
trip.
months. You
You
want to
get
feel a
high
little
on
chaos?
chaos magic.
Also, I'm just now realized have we smoked as a this group before? We've done a lot of drinking. I don't know if we've done a lot of smoking.
Well,
No,
smoking's harder to do on campus, I think.
Yeah, so I don't know if Gail's actually ever.
Typical fascist.
What should I roll to see if someone's ever offered her a joint before?
No one's
Charisma?
off the Kella joint.
Yeah, just give me a flat charisma check.
I can already tell you.
No one has ever offered Gale drugs.
What's blight leaf?
It's
No, it's
nice.
black.
It'll probably like mellow you out a little bit. Just
What's that supposed to mean? As her
So to
hair
be-
flares up and starts.
it's like a cigarette, Gail. Here, and I'll put the unlit joint in her mouth. I'll be like, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna suck, and when you feel it come into your mouth, you're just gonna take a deep breath, and then you're gonna let it
Alright.
out. Then he lights the. And,
Oh, it
yeah,
has
and then
to
he
be
lights the
lit.
joint. Okay,
I mean-
now start.
I mean, I tried tobacco once. Francois
No,
likes
it's
it, but I don't know.
like
it doesn't
tobacco
really.
but better. Here, just suck. Here, go.
better.
Is
It's
Francois the
like
name
if
of that
cigarettes
teacher?
were fun.
She
Nice
takes in a
cigarettes.
way too deep breath because she's very easily able to do that as an air genasi. Oh,
Bad rep.
oh,
If you cough, you get a if you cough, you get Eldritch Blast.
okay.
Damn.
I've rolled a
And
23 on
now
my con
just
save.
now just pass it around.
So the coughing fit wasn't like that terrible. She was able to control herself after a minute. Okay. Wait, so what's it supposed to do again?
Just give it a minute. Pass it to Marius.
Okay. Here you go.
You know how like after you drink like a beer, like eventually then your head gets all fuzzy and your face is warm. This is like that, but like you don't feel hungover the next day.
Huh.
Takes all your bad feelings and turns them into good ones. You don't want any of this.
Don't want any of this.
You don't want any of this shit. What movie is that again?
Walk hard. Yeah.
Thank you. I
That's
was
just
thinking
it. It's not even addicting. I think I want so.
I
No,
think
you don't.
I think with that 23, it's probably gonna take till that like third pass around before Gail really starts feeling it. But then she, it's gonna be a good ride. She's just gonna be nice and mellow.
You needed this, Gail. Not gonna lie. I mean, no one wanted to say it. I think that's why no one offered you any, because we all just assumed you'd like already turned it down.
Why would I turn it down? I don't. Wait, is this illegal?
Only in some places.
Natural
places.
sea.
Oh, that's true. I guess there are no laws here, huh? And she's just like staring up at the stars.
Yeah, just lay back. Just just kick back on the deck, stare up at the stars, clear your mind.
Ooh, yeah. She's just gonna fall back, but because she can, she's gonna like float down instead of actually falling to the ground.
Like a leaf.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Picturesque scene. Aelity probably takes the joint, passes it around in rotation. Probably just hanging out here on the upper deck with y'all. Beautiful sight.
Everybody's just hanging out, smoking.
There's nothing else.
Staring up at the stars, talking about what they think's to come.
Aelity probably looks over at Marius. So does Saloon control like all the moons? Like,
yeah, or is it like
are you gonna talk to like a new Saloon when we go to another sphere?
Oh god. I'll have to ask her. I just assumed, man.
That's crazy. She like sits back on the deck.
Why stop at one,
You could be friends with all the saloons. You could be this saloons champion.
Yeah, Koski.
Well, but
I mean,
yeah, fuck that
what
guy.
did you hear?
They wouldn't all be named Saloon though if they're different, right?
Oh, it'd be whatever the people named her, right? I guess that makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense. I was thinking it was like a number, like Saloon 2, Saloon 7.
What if that is it though? What if there's
I don't know, man. I saw this one show once where there were all these nurses and all these police officers that were the same woman, but they weren't the same woman. They were just all sisters. They were still the same person. Yeah. They called her like Nurse Joy. Like
a play?
Yeah.
Sounds made up. That's crazy.
We're still in this sphere, right? We haven't like gone outside of we're not in the astral sea yet. We're still in just wild space.
Yeah, you guys are in wild space. So it's like, classic, black sky with stars all around you guys, basically.
Maybe there'd be like a constellation Gale recognizes. She'd be like, oh, look at that, and then she like minor illusion to like connect the dots together, and then like make a little figure. So you see, that's the archer.
Huh.
Oh, no.
That's Kellen. He's the archer.
Hey, that's you, Kellen. Look,
You're
look.
a star.
Kellen.
to make
He
it look
just
more
like
like
pulls
Kellen.
the hood
Kellen,
over
look.
his face, like
Look.
and like buries himself.
Gail, which was me? Which was me?
There was the fire constellation.
I wonder if
Well, I
Star
think-
Kellen ever shot Star Mary.
I think you'd just be whatever sun the planet is closest to, right? Like,
Like all the suns.
well, like the heaviest sun. You're the biggest sun.
You're the
biggest
son of
sun.
sons. You're the son.
I'm an only son and daughter or kid.
Well, no, so you're not lonely because you are the center of the sphere. You hold the sphere to like you pull everything towards you. You get it?
Is that how spheres work?
I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. The Lonely Sun sounds like a really cool song name.
Oh,
Ooh.
all right, Marius, you got it. Make a song.
What? Make a song.
Yeah, here, I'll start you off.
You know what? I'm suddenly inspired. Go, thank you. Alright, let's see how this goes. The Lute of Illusion. Hey.
Hell yeah!
What
24.
is this performance?
Oh, man. I don't even know. Probably just like a total random song that he'll spend like years later being like, what the fuck did I play?
You
can never remember this song ever again.
Yeah, because he's just like in the moment. There's like he's got like maybe multiple like moons, each casting like a little moonlight and a different, slightly different like saloon visage in the middle. Now he's like, maybe there are different ones, and then it's just like a really relaxing but like Spanish guitar-y vibe.
Ooh,
Wow.
he's got the finger play.
I'll make little other figures to dance with the saloons. So then it's a whole bunch of dancing little figures.
And I add fireworks. Yay!
Burning hands.
So funny. Aelody will add sparkles to the fireworks. Yay!
Yay! Good job, Elodie. You were the best.
It's so great. I made him green.
This play wouldn't have the pizzazz without us. We've got that. What is it? Quentin Tarantino touch. Who's the guy who's obsessed with the explosion? Michael Bay.
Michael
We got that Michael Bay touch.
Colin's just laying on the ground clapping.
I hope we don't get attacked right now.
Oh my god.
This is the most relaxed we've ever been.
I don't trust it.
I
We're
feel
more
like
relaxed than we were at the spa.
I feel like with the 23, I could justify that Gale could still be competent.
You guys feel confident as you're chillaxing
Before
here
you
on
had
the
to
upper
hit you,
deck.
Gale.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, this is after.
We'll sort of pan back, seeing this beautiful shot. We'll do a little time jump as 8 days have now passed here in wild space. again, still inside the chronosphere. Everyone a little bit more into their routines here. And what would like an average morning look like for our crew now? A little over a week in the saddle.
I imagine Gail has started probably helping out somewhat with like cooking meals, but probably more just like helping like get prep work done so that somebody else can actually finish it and make sure that it comes out nice. But you know, she's working on her chopping skills and wash. You know, she's actually like getting in there and washing dishes.
Hell yeah,
So that's
getting
probably
ready.
her start of the morning.
Ailey's probably in there with you. She's probably like getting like some like food stuff more set up as you're like getting things clean for her to then start making dirty again with new food.
Yeah.
I figured that Kellen and Brett would be an early riser and want to get to sparring and like training super early in the morning, and probably want to start out with Kellen since he's also more of a physical combat individual. So I figured Brett probably reluctantly or pulls Kellen out of bed reluctantly every morning, super early.
I love that because I was imagining that Brett like gets up early and like makes a cup of coffee for whoever was like driving overnight, or like, you know, gets them like a cup of tea, or, you know, greets them in the morning and like as an early riser. And then that's sort of, he also gets an update, like just in case anything's happened that they need to update Liliana on, or vice versa. So it kind of just became like a morning thing. And then he comes and grabs you, Kellen, for that
Pulls
sparring.
him out of bed. God, it's time to get up.
So maybe he even brings you like your morning protein shake or whatever.
They're always chunky. Why are they chunky?
Well, the blender needs sharpening. I don't know how to do that, but it's fine. It's good for your teeth.
A jaw workout. What would Marius's average morning look like nowadays?
Oh man, he'd probably do a little training with everyone, and then just steer the ship for a little bit, play pilot, play captain for a while.
Okay.
For the most part, that'd be
captain
it.
for a while.
I figured he would take more of like a late shift, and then, you know, when he's done, he could meditate, and then no, he doesn't actually have to really sleep. So, you know,
Fair. That's fair. Would you? I picture on a morning, you'd either be like waiting for food, watching whoever's training, or just hanging out doing your own thing. Where do you think you'd be on this particular morning?
he'd probably train like whenever anybody else is.
Ooh, hell
After
yeah.
feeling somewhat defeated at the theater. So if it's like everybody running around, he'd probably participate, or if it's like just casting some spells off the side of the ship, etc.
That makes sense. Makes sense. We'll say you three would be in the sort of like back training quarters, the sort of caboose on this dragonfly ship, just being this open training area. Could be bigger, but you know, it's a pretty big space on a pretty small ship to at least, you know, do some training. Probably watching Brett lead with some, again, like almost gymnast acrobatic, like combat movement tactics, just like showing Kellen, like, don't be so stiff, you're so fluid in the water. And he's just like doing cartwheels in the middle. All of you guys give me perception checks as you're going about your sort of morning routines. We'll say that Captain Casper's taking over like actual piloting duties. Glenn's probably just like hanging out doing some like navigation stuff for him before she gets some food once it's all cooked.
Nice.
Oh,
19.
so
Wow,
perceptive.
not bad.
Woo, you and me, Gail.
54.
Matching sixes. Let's go. Can we get one more 6?
No.
I'll roll
more
for
No.
ability. Let's
What?
see.
Now,
One more 6. One more 6.
Why are you tempting fate right now?
Ooh, Aility has a +9 to her perception.
Oh,
Oh,
She
so-
did
goddamn.
naturally roll a 6. That should be.
Hey!
That's your
Hey!
Well, the other ones aren't natural. So
Not
devil
today,
rejected. Not
Satan.
today, Satan.
Not today, Satan.
Today Satan rejected us.
I've been rejected
yeah.
by worse.
Again, at the start of this 8th day, all of you going about your morning routines. Everyone besides Brett and Gale, you feel these thuds. Boom, 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 boom. Almost like something is bumped into the ship. Not like projectiles or spell work being launched. It doesn't feel like that. It's like something is bumped into the ship. Multiple somethings bumped into the front of the ship.
Aility, I said be careful with the pots and pans. You're gonna dent them.
Did you not feel that? What the fuck are you talking about? Something just bumped the ship.
What?
Oh,
I didn't feel anything.
I'll go to take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd head up to the top deck. Wait, are we on top? No. Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
head
dude.
up.
Do you think we should go look?
Yeah, I imagined we were sitting down to eat or something, right? If it was morning time.
Not quite yet. I mean, I kind of moved you guys on our little map
okay,
here. If
perfect.
you
I
look
like-
somewhere else with a
I like
position.
to think we had like just kind of gotten things prepped to start cooking, but we haven't actually started anything yet.
There we are.
Yeah.
I didn't zoom out far
There's-
enough. I was confused.
Yeah, got it.
There's nothing on the fire yet. I guess we could.
Still that? Do you want to
Go
go
look.
check that out? That's weird.
Sounds a little rhythmic beat that's kind of catchy. But yes, we should probably go check it out.
Oh, yeah, we gotta go like right here, right, to get up there.
Mm-hmm. There's like a drop down ladder right here that leads up to the hatch. Eddie probably gives you a look. I mean, yeah, I'll be up there in just a minute. I gotta at least get these eggs on.
Okay, I guess I'll go look.
Dedicated.
All the dishes are done though. So
Good deal. And she's like probably getting underway. And right as basically everyone is beginning to move to this drop down ladder, Captain Casper's voice emanates from almost like the floor from the actual ship itself. Everyone, upper deck, we got leeches. And that's right as Kellen, you're like moving this drop down ladder and the hatch is like right above you. You're beginning
Sounds
to basically
like we're
move
on
up.
duty, boys.
leeches.
Yeah, give us a chance to put all that training that Brett's been putting us through every day to use, right? Stretch the old legs.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
All of you having this brief moment to basically like prep a spell as you're all like beginning to move up this ladder, coming up to the top deck. So all of you basically like come up loosely at the same time, a little single file behind each other.
Gale would be last.
So each of you can do like a prep spell in this meantime.
Kellen would just pull out his bow and arrow, and ready his shots.
Oh, right. I have this now. Haha, mage armor.
Haste.
That's right. We done got that.
Oh, okay.
No, I got rid of haste. Remember? Yeah.
And as all of you come up to the top deck, you can see at the front of the ship these strange, almost snake-like writhing forms going along the surface of the ship. Seeing their almost slimy eel-like bodies, they would coil up. There'd be no head. In place of where the head would be this toothy, jagged suction cup of a face. One or two of them, their mouths suction cupping to the actual ship itself. As all of you sort of come up and shut the hatch behind you, one or two of them would look over in acknowledgement. I need you all to roll for initiative.
Fight.
They're just this weird new creature just standing on deck with us that none of us have ever seen before.
Yeah, for a
Yeah,
second
yes.
I thought that was like the creatures, and then I zoomed in and I was like, oh wait, no, that's too
The
cute
fuck
to be
is
a
that
leech.
thing?
As soon as we popped up, he just said, what is one thing? It's my fate.
Where the
I
hell did
swear
that come
at it.
from? Where did you find it? Find that under your bed, Marius? You been keeping this as a pet from us
No.
this whole time? What?
No, I like summoned it from another plane. Look.
Do I know about Stabby?
You guys have probably never heard of the leeches, and seeing this new friend join the fray. Yeah, you guys probably haven't seen him yet, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Something
this
ferocious in his eye.
I think this is like new for him too.
Oh, these are disgusting.
Oh, they're very gross. Very gross. You guys as players may remember these from another spell jamming game we played once upon a time.
I vaguely do.
Let me roll for these bad boys. Ooh,
I don't remember which game, but I definitely recognize these guys.
Yeah, I do remember fighting them, and I feel like I remember something about them, which may be good for Gale, if I'm remembering correctly.
So as you guys come up to the top deck, see these writhing, large spelljammer leeches, some of them suctioned onto the ship, a couple of them looking over in acknowledgement, beginning to move your direction. We'll start with Kellen, as you're got your bow, arrow out, the tentacles probably at the ready, seeing one of these beginning to move towards you.
How high
Like to
up
do, my good
is
sir.
this ledge right here? Okay, so I can
It's
just
only
hop
like
up really
5-6
quick.
feet up. Yeah, easy peasy. Definitely
So,
nothing
yeah,
hard.
the tentacles grab out the bow and arrow, and Kellen hops, kind of hops up and readies his shot and lets out some longbow sharpshooter strikes at Mr. Blue here.
Pew pew pew.
Let out some shots.
Shot, 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 shot.
Shot. Ooh.
Oh, 12 will miss that guy. Whoosh. As soon as your arrow sort of breaches the atmosphere of this ship, it travels a little bit further, and then it just sort of continues on at this projected pace. Just this constant motion through space as it just
Load up
drifts on.
that second shot. Fuck. Why do you do this to me?
The ship sort of moving a little underfoot. Your second shot going wide,
Damn
drifting
it.
off into wild space.
That will be it for Kellen for right now.
All right, moving up, shooting some shots. We will go to Marius.
I'm going to Radiant Soul. I'll sprout my ethereal wings. And then I'm gonna quicken spell. And I'm gonna chromatic orb. Wherever it is. So yeah, I'll go Radiant Soul's ethereal wings like pop out, go all celestial. He'll fly up like 10 or 15 feet so he has sight. Unless you're more on the side, then he'll fly up a little higher.
We'll say like 10 feet. You could see at least most of them. Like maybe one or two, maybe lightly obstructed, closer to like the nose of the ship. But you can see most of those guys on the side here.
I'm gonna go for the spread one. And we'll do fire.
Fire.
Did I do damage again? Why did I do that?
Yeah, I was in the other game.
Oh, because I fixed it in the other game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so
I-
funny.
I had the thought too, and I was like, okay. There we go. 21.
21 will hit, my good sir.
14.
14 damage to to red here.
And then it'll have the other bits. Hold on. Not as powerful. Oh, just the one bit, because the other one's level up at the 8 radiant.
8, so 22 points as your chromatic orb lashes onto this red leech here. And it is still alive, still kicking, but that seared a high majority of it as it took a full brunt of your chromatic orb.
Alright, and then I will have Stabby attack it as well, but he'll move 5, 10, 15. So move 15. God. That's fine. Alright, I'm thinking another step or two. It's 20, and then he'll use his phase step, and he's fuming. So he'll pop up right next to him. I'll take his attack with advantage. A 15?
15 will hit.
Huzzah!
Yeah, go
There you go,
Stabby.
Stabby.
There goes 13 damage.
Oh, what does this kill look like for Stabby?
Oh god. He probably runs up the stairs, and as he kind of gets to the top, he just poofs real quick. And then I like to think as he goes for his swipe attack, a little radiant blade appears in his hand. And so instead of claws, it's like this slash, and then it dissipates once it makes contact. And it just cuts into him.
Slices the leech in half as its two halves drift off from the ship and trail behind the ship as it carries on. Those of you that look at Stabby, one of your first times seeing this new companion, as it moves up in phase steps, where it lands is on the side of the ship. And as it appears, it is at an angle. Its feet just easily held on the side of this thing. It's standing at this angle it shouldn't be able to stand at.
That's cool.
All of you
That
guys
thing
give me
is
perception
freaky.
checks.
Perception. 12. That's twice as better as last time.
Also
15.
15.
Hey.
We got a lot of matchies today.
Nice. Marius, I'll give you advantage, actually. You should totally have advantage on this. Sorry, that's my bad.
Okay.
One more again.
One more again, just in case you get higher than a 15.
5, 1, 10, 24.
Hey.
24. This has been explained to you. Everyone else maybe hasn't fully got this, but you and Aelody know this. The ship has its own center of gravity, if you will. You know that you can step off the side railing here, plant your feet on the ship, and as long as you push yourself past this plane of gravity, you can fully walk on the bottom of this ship upright as gravity adjusts to you, so you can walk upside down on the bottom of it, unencumbered. I would say, at least with the 16, Brett, you're able to kind of piece that together, because that guy was just moving around and you almost could see it as it face stepped, had to adjust to this adjusted gravity as it's just sort of repositioned on the outside here before it swung at the leech.
I guess after he does all that and I'm kind of flying in the air, maybe just shout it out hey, don't forget, you can go on the side of the ship, just be careful. And then we'll leave it at that. You can interpret that however you want.
We will go to the leeches. And on the leech's turn, what is their movement speed?
Oh, God.
2.
say purple. 10, 30. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's right. And this guy go 30. I guess you could go right there as long as it's circle. You can see these two swirl up with their snake-like bodies, closing the distance on you guys as much as they can. Where the other three, while they were sort of suction cupped onto the sort of side and front of the ship, you could loosely see them. They would begin to move out of your line of sight, going to sort of the underside of the front of the ship. You all would see those loose three begin to writhe backwards out of your line of sight. The three that just went and hid, they're going to take attacks on the ship.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Nice. Let's do it all in one wave. Damn. This is a 28. As you guys can feel heavy impacts as these things are assumingly re-suctioning to the front of the ship. Some damage being done to our ship here. Let me pull up. I guess what I should do, I'm gonna hand this off to you, Marius. Can be edited by Marius. Here's the stat sheet for the dragonfly. Probably should have gave you this earlier.
Ooh. Oh. I might have to sign out and get back in. It's all blank.
Oh yeah, it's doing that thing. Well, I'll take the health off here. It has a damage threshold of 15, so that's pretty good. So it only dealt 13 damage to this guy. So the ship has taken a little bit more damage here. And then the two leeches that closed the space and got up in your business. I think it should be. Okay, it's 30 feet. Okay. So they are both going to posture up. They will both let out a wave of acidic bile at 30-foot range in front of each of them.
Fuck.
Ew.
Nah.
Launch their giant cones. That's going to be all four of you guys. So it's going to do. Ooh, a 10. 10 misses all of you the first wave as you manage to duck and hide from the worst of it. The next one will make it 15 hit any of you?
No.
Oh god.
Yes. But I am flying in the air. Does that help me at all?
It's like a 30-foot cone, so you're still splattered
not
by
that
it.
high. Yeah, it hits me. 8.
So it's 8 acid damage for those with an AC of 15 or less, as you can't get away from this particular wave that it spews out.
I was trying to decide if I wanted to bother shielding, but I don't think I'm gonna use that just yet. Alright, 8 damage.
So that was their extra action. Ooh, you're within 10 feet. Both of them with their actions will coil up with their 10-foot reach, and they're both going to lash out at you, Kellen. one, a 15.
That one
Ooh,
will
the
hit.
second one, a 20.
Oh,
Take
Sweet.
10 piercing damage. You are not a
Hey.
small creature, thankfully.
I'll do silvery barbs.
Ooh, little
I wasn't
silvery
sure.
barbs action.
Heard somebody say something or not. But yeah, silvery barbs.
Silvery barbs that, so it's gonna go one more swing.
No.
A natural one will
job.
miss
Hey.
Kellen. Whew, managing to dodge both of those. Whoa.
Mary is coming in clutch.
Yeah. That's it for our leeches. We'll go to Mr. Brett Hotman.
Hmm. Brett will. Shit. Brett will move forward, I think. Let me see. So that was 10 feet.
Who did you give advantage to, Marius?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Good
that's a
point.
good call. I give it to Galen.
So if I do a 15-foot cone from here, this is like it hit both of them and not kill them at all.
Correctamundo.
Cool. I think he'll try a burning hands at level 2.
Drop it like it's hot, brother. 15-foot cone. I love to see
Yeah,
it.
a lot of
Dex
damage.
save.
One more
So-
d6.
So this will be for purple guy. Guy succeeds. This will be for blue. Blue
Boo.
guy. Blue guy
Hey.
fails. Takes
Hooray!
full damage. And purple guy takes half. 7 damage. Yeah, 7 damage. You move up and litter that front of the ship with the flame for that split second. Maybe charring the face of the wood just a little bit, but ship is fine. Those two leeches both are looking rough.
I'll bonus action Bardic Inspire Kellen. So as a reminder, you can use that a bunch of ways.
You have these flame bracers that appear on your forearms now, Kellen. Familiar sign.
And then I landed some stuff on the blue, right?
Yes. Yep.
I'll move in.
Blue took the brunt of it.
Move in like this.
Hell yeah. Moving up. Anything else?
I think that's everything. I guess I'm wondering where the other leeches are, but
Yeah, you saw them writhe up. You could sort of feel that jostling as they're likely reattaching, but where to be seen?
have my swords out.
We will close out this round with Gale.
If I wanted to shoot something at this guy, do I have a good enough angle, like with me being downstairs and these two right here?
I'd say
probably-
so. I'd say you should be
Okay.
fine. I'd say you should be fine.
I was like, because if I need to, I have my but I don't really. Well, I could if I needed to. The tempestuous magic to like jump up like 10 feet. But I'm
Mhm.
also kind of scared how the physics of this works, since we're on a moving ship in astral space. So I don't think she would do that initially. She wants to stay connected to the ship.
Fair.
Yeah, we're just gonna let off a chromatic orb with lightning and see if there's any. She wants to, as much as I want to use my bonus action for another like a cantrip after. She wants to try and like examine afterwards to see if there's any difference between the fire and the lightning.
Hell yeah. Drop it like it's hot.
And we're gonna go for the blue one.
Blue boy.
Yeah, we'll keep it level 1. Yeah.
14 will just hit this guy.
Oh my god! I was like, that's got to be close. This button. Yeah, level 1, lightning. Ooh, 13 damage.
13 damage. As your chromatic orb launches across the space and makes contact, it's burst of electric, like lightning wave that goes across it. Space on your last perception check, as you're sort of watching this thing as it sizzles and sparks, you kill it. You eviscerate it. It was already hurt, but you swear that that thing really responded to lightning damage. Really hurt it.
Can I try and call that out? Be like, use lightning!
Yeah, you can like drop a quick sentence in the middle of your action. That's fine.
And then, she's a little scared, but she's gonna go for it because she's like, where the fuck did those other ones go? She wants to try and like, can I get in between those wings, like move, or would I have to like go over them?
I would recommend going over them because they're not still. They sort of like shift up and down a little bit to keep
That's
the
a good
ship
point.
upright.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
can go for it if you want. I'm not saying it's not an option, but it is the
No,
dangerous option.
No, we're not gonna move between flapping wings like that. But we'll try and skirt underneath this kind of area,
Mhm.
above the wings. I have 30 feet. I could try and get like. Ugh, I don't like being right there, but we're trying to get right there.
And as you get up there and you like get to that railing, as you're like going for the jump over, you can sort of loosely feel like that gravity pull. And as you sort of push your feet onto the side of the ship and you almost push yourself past, you are standing upright at an angle, like off the side of the ship. Kellen can probably look over and see your head just based on the angle as you're like standing upright, looking straight forward.
This is fucking weird. I guess that'll be my turn.
Solid turn.
I assume I still can't see the other leeches.
Not quite, not from your current angle, because you're kind of up and they sort of climbed like frontward and down a little bit more. But you think on your next turn you should be able to get eyesight on at least one or two of them. We'll go top of initiative to Kellen, freshly charred, lightning shot up, dead leech on board the ship. The barely wounded one still like coiled up in front of Brett, ready to strike.
Do have
You have
advantage. He is going to do his longbow attack. He steadies his like the arrow on Brett's shoulder since he's right there, and since he's like squaring up to the other leech. So he like kind of like steadies the arrow on Brett's shoulder and like repels it off of there.
Get it with
That's sick.
advantage.
22. We will
22
empower that
will
with
hit.
our psionic die as well.
Golly.
15 plus
And that-
that D8.
You told me that was
Then
a
do I
1
get
on
sneak
your
attack
damage
because
roll?
he is engaged with the enemy? Okay.
I do believe so. You have an ally within 5 feet of it. So for a total of 26 damage, how do you take out this leech that's bearing down
with
your
that
friend?
first shot, he just looks
Jesus.
at like he looks at the fried one that Gale just left there, and like looks over towards the other one, steadies the arrow on Brett's shoulder to gain that like super like steady shot, and then like lets it zip by, and Brett probably hears it like whistle past his ear, and it just goes through the mouth of the thing that's bearing down at him after it had oozed all this gross shit out of it and is probably leaking like acid from it.
Oh, for sure. Like the bile that it just immediately spews when you pierce it like that. It is way more messy than the charred up one that Gale left behind.
Oh. Thanks,
Oh, no, thanks for
Kellen.
the boost,
Ugh.
bud. Then let's see. We'll start moving this way 30 feet to the front of the ship.
Oh, yeah, you didn't even need the the bardic inspiration extra dice.
Still loaded up with the fire bracers, baby. Right, moving up to that front railing. You look over and you think you can loosely make out what would maybe be like part of one of them. Again, they're super out of your line of sight. You can maybe see one like writhing around. You look over to your left and Gale's just like upright
I
on the
tried to
side
take
of
a
the
shot
ship,
at
standing, looking
disadvantage, 'cause
forward.
I have extra attack. Okay.
I would say you cannot. Because it's really just like,
Okay.
oh, I think I saw something. They have to be up there. Like a sign they're still here. They haven't like
Totally.
abandoned ship more than like, oh, I got a shot. Right. Go to Marius.
Is it possible to fly forward and up to get an angle on these things?
You can certainly try.
I'm so worried about
Uh.
flying.
I'm gonna try it.
Oh god.
Oops. So 5, 10.
You're about 10 feet up in the air right now, loosely.
So I'd end up about there, but like, going. I guess on the side view, I'm trying to fly up like this way
Mm-hmm.
to see him on the front, but I don't know if I have enough angle with the movement.
How high up off the deck are you at this current moment?
He'd probably be about 30 feet.
As soon as you get to that 30-foot range, give me a dexterity saving throw, my good sir.
I don't know my body.
As soon as you said 30 feet, I was like, I have a bad feeling about that
Air.
specifically.
13. It's just enough as you begin to breach that 25 foot range, going for 30. You can feel yourself begin to just drift off, seeing the ship beginning to circle down. And you give one good burst with your wings and sort of hop back into its atmosphere pocket where you're moving in tandem with it. You know that you can stay about 20-ish feet, 25-ish feet above the actual face here. But I won't have that be your action or anything like that. Just a lesson learned as you're like up here in the air. Give me a perception check.
Oh, 13.
Lucky 13.
13. You think you can make out what would be like the writhing tail of one of them that's again further up, like down under the front of the ship. You could take a shot, but I mean that thing has a 3/4 cover. It's behind. It's be a rough shot, but you maybe can take it.
Okay, I'll stay at this height. I'll use my action to dash. And I'll just go fight. So I'll come over here. And now can I see them okay?
Yeah. Yeah, as you sort of like come around again, you're sort of staying not like right close to the ship, but keeping, mindful of your distance and sort of come around the bend of that large, almost like glass window that would look into the bridge and parts of the ship. You can see the pink one kind of writhing around. You think you may see the second one off to its side. You can't see the third one. But yeah, you got two of them in your sights.
Then I'll do one more quicken spell. And I'll do a level 2 chromatic orb with lightning. And the pink one.
Beautiful.
Oh god. Yeah, 13.
13 will just miss this guy.
I'm gonna do favored by the gods.
Hey,
You don't even have to roll it. You'd have a minimum of 2. Its AC is a 14.
hey.
And damage plus a
What
D8.
is this
Oh,
13
no.
number?
Yeah. So give me 1 second. I'll be right
You
back.
got 4 13s in a row, all by different means with different modifiers. Like,
Fair. Chad said he had to step away, but as he lets out his chromatic orb, it would whoosh, fly at the leech, make contact, and it would erupt in this lightning as it would begin to writhe and char and burn. So it would take double damage, having a vulnerability to lightning damage, pointed out by Gale. Burned to a crisp. 2 leeches remaining. Marius has his sights on one. The other one he can't quite see from his angle on this side. But I think that was all of Marius's bits, so we'll just go to the leeches. With the leeches.
Sorry, the dog's being a little wild there for a second.
Well, you're fine. You killed the pink one, learning that
Hey.
these things are indeed vulnerable to lightning damage. So you dealt double damage.
Yes, I'd fly there. He'd throw the ball of lightning, and then he would yell for Stabby to attack the yellow one.
Get it, yellow one.
So he does have some movement, but
he's face step too. So that's what, 30 feet in and of itself?
yeah, I was gonna have him get close enough and then face step so he can use his fuming.
Easy enough. Easy enough. But I would say, like, based on what he knows and what you know, I mean, you can have him appear like closer to your side by the charred pink one, or he could appear like right in between where you think the other one is and the one you can currently see.
Nah, I'll put him in the for sure spot, like kind by me.
For sure.
We can still hit. And I'll take his attack. A 20.
Nice drop.
20 will hit.
Damn.
16 damage.
Slicing into it, the leech writhing as it's currently like connected to the ship with its large like sucker.
And that be it. That's all I got.
Solid turn. Solid turn. We'll go to our leeches. Recently swiped at yellow. It's going to unhinge from the ship, let out a huge wave of bile, targeted at your little buddy.
Why would you do that?
Stabby, no.
30 feet. I'll say based on its angle, it will not get advantage with its bile. But Marius, you could get hit by the spray. Ooh, I'm
Ooh.
guessing a 9 will not hit you or Stabby.
It does not.
You would see it kind of litter the side of the ship a little bit. It begins to like fester and boil and pop on its face, but thankfully its metal surface is doing good. Fairly good.
Now.
And the other one is going to. Yeah, it'll let out its own bile wave, but this time it's just at the ship, trying to get to the interior. 6. Ooh, still low damage as it litters the side of the ship and begins to do more superficial damage, though it's beginning to like rupture in at a point as it's sort of writhing and smashing after its acid bile. They'll both make their poppy swings. Yellow guy is going to go for Stabby with his action. Oh, another 9 will miss Stabby.
Good.
And then the green one with its action will use its bite on the
Ow.
ship.
Is
Natural
Stabby-
1.
So
Is
good.
Stabby a small or a medium?
Oh, no, he can get
He's
swallowed.
small.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't bring that up.
Don't worry, Stabby,
Sorry,
I'll
guys,
These
pick
things
it
up.
up.
large creatures.
These things are now missing.
You know Matt's sick.
Don't worry, Stabby, I'll protect you.
We'll go from the leeches to Mr. Brett Hotman. Seeing Marius soar over, Stabby gunning over as well. Like seeing both of them go over the front side, the curve of the ship. Shots being wrung out, hearing some writhing noises, a couple slams on the front of the ship.
Yeah, sounds like that's where the action is. So it seems it's been demonstrated I can run over the side of the ship and stuff, so I guess I'll just head where I'm hearing all the noise, which is like up here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how far I can get. Is it just like straightforward like this? I can measure it like that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like a slope, because just for reference, it does look like this down here.
Yeah, the bottom
There's
right
There's
of
a
the
little
Yeah.
bit of like a curve to it.
Okay.
But again, you could hop off at a bit of an angle, take some steps once you like reposition onto its like gravity plane. Pretty straightforward.
Brett's a parkour man. I think this is a great revelation, to be honest. He just found a whole new activity.
Yeah, running along the outside of the ship.
Mario Galaxy style.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll run forward. He's got 40 feet. And I assume he can see what's going on here now.
Yeah, I'll say with that full movement as you get to the front of this, adjusting to that new plane of gravity with this like diagonal movement, you're running down. You can see the pretty beat up looking leech that's sort of staring down Stabby, and what looks to be like a fresh, untouched leech off to its left.
Going at the ship, right?
Uh-huh. The untouched one is like just going wild on one spot on the ship.
Yeah. I'll use. So that was my movement. I'll use my action to cast Shatter. And I'll cast that at level 3. And I'd like to try to hit them both, but if I can't have both, I want the green one. Here, let me post it.
You should be able to hit them both. Shouldn't be a problem.
It shouldn't be 14. I think it's 15. Is this DC?
15. We'll do the one on the top. Oh, Constitution, not Dex. Constitution. This is for the one closest to Stabby. 19.
Damn.
Then we will go with the untouched one. An 11.
Yeah,
11 again.
Uh-huh.
I was like, that feels very
And
reminiscent of the
14
last one.
again. 14 damage again? Isn't that what I got last time?
What level did you cast it at?
I cast it 1 level higher. So I think it's a
Oh,
second
okay.
level. I cast it at 3rd.
Got you. Yeah. 13 lightning damage. Or 14 lightning damage. The yellow one, even at half damage, since it is vulnerable to
Is it not
charged
thunder damage?
It is,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I don't actually have lightning.
I was
I
about
thought shatter was lightning. Okay.
I was about
No.
to make that distinction.
7. That one is alive. And the one that failed. Oh, yeah, both of them are still kicking. The one staring down Stabby is a little rough, but still both up and riding.
Hey! Uglies! I'm right here. He's got his swords. He's like,
Yeah, solid turn.
I'll throw my Bardic Inspiration on someone with my bonus action. I'll give it to Marius.
Getting some fire bracers, Marius.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
We'll move to Gale. Seeing your allies charge the front of the ship as you're sort of standing here at this slanted angle, looking forward, seeing some spells being cast.
First, I need to get up there. I can move another 30 feet. Let's see. Yeah. Wait, where was it again? That was right here. I assume I can see him now as I jump up on this.
You could see that one closest to you, that green one, pretty well. The other one that's pretty bloody is like a little obscured, but you may be able to hit it as well. You have a loose visual on it.
Yeah, we're gonna follow in Brett's wake. I heard his shatter go off, and since I don't quite have good vision on that one, but I think I could get it if I use shatter and just throw it a little bit behind this green guy here. We're gonna follow suit. Level 3 shatter.
Nice. Boom, boom. Massive,
Hit it.
loud booms.
Low damage.
Low damage. That's the correct DC. Double check.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Another con save. So this will be for Yellow Boy. Yellow Boy fails, and for Green
Hey.
Boy, Green Boy succeeds.
Yeah, that's a high one.
So Green just shattered. Still managed to stand up. The yellow one, after it's hit with this pulse of thunder damage, it would writhe and actually be flung from the ship itself.
Oh.
Being drifted out to sea in this burst of energy.
Hope you find your dad.
You know what? For fun, let's quicken spell. Ray of Frost.
Who's that?
Oh.
This boy slinging some spells. 25 will hit.
Ew.
Hell yeah, Gale.
7 damage. How do you finish off the last leech here?
Woo!
She draws up this circle just out of nowhere, like you thought she was done with that last spell. Another circle comes out, and this ray of frost just shoots into its mouth and like freezes its mouth shut, and then like an icicle like shoots out the back of the head.
That's
It's
sick.
amazing. It's amazing as this thing writhes and just slams against dead, locked in place from the gravity plane. All of you standing at these strange angles, catching your breath. It's probably at this point, Marius, and Gale, both of you look at the window you're like maybe standing on. And you see sitting in the helms Captain Casper, and he's giving a golf clap to you all. You can see him mouthing, "Impressive, very
Oh, yeah.
impressive."
Yeah, I can read his lips.
Uh-huh.
I just give a little bow, a little curtsy, like, thank you, thank you.
And you all would hear a voice emanate from the ship itself. "Now clean all that shit up."
Ugh.
Yes, Captain.
Can I use a prestidigitation and mending? Let's do what I can to clean up the front.
I would say to at least get a lot of the superficial stuff off, but you see the like set in damage that's been done. That's gonna take like
A little bit
an
more.
a little bit more repair, but thankfully it wasn't
Yeah.
too much damage to the actual ship.
No.
Yeah,
A little
Gale's gonna
split
help.
shine.
Gale's gonna help get rid of some of the superficial damage with prestidigitation. Well, not like
That's-
damage, but the paint. All the acid stuff that.
Yeah, there's
Rubbed up.
some warp spots and some charred spots up on the top deck as well. Like,
Yeah, she can help clean stuff up, but she can't really fix the metal.
You guys are doing like magic eraser, and Brett is like picking up these entire carcasses and tossing them off the side of the ship.
Yeah.
We all have different strengths.
that's where we'll take our first little breaky poo.
Ooh.
Break
Bevies and bits.
I was so happy when I was like, leeches. Wait, they're weak to lightning, aren't they? This bitch just shoots lightning all the time. That's her first instinct. Yes.
the whole thing. Well done, us. Good job.
Good job.
I mean, Kellen
I did
ate
not
a
take
lot of
any
damage right at the beginning,
actually,
but otherwise,
because of Marius'
smooth sailing.
silvery barbs.
Oh, really? Good. Oh, perfect.
Yeah. I had
Yeah,
a
I
little
think-
acid damage. I think that was it.
Yeah, it was just me and Maris taking some acid.
Hell yeah. Look at us.
Doing drugs and fighting
Drugs,
wolves.
You know, pirate stuff.
Doing
Well, I mean, we
drugs
did
and
we
bugs.
did drugs last night.
It was a couple nights ago. This is the 8th night.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
little
true,
bit
true.
of tangent.
See, we keep a busy schedule.
Mhm.
Right, I'm gonna go potty. I guess I'll stop
Mhm.
Craig as well for this part.
Take a break, Craig. Take 5.
Take 5,
Take
Craig.
rocks, bitch.